object comes into the Castle Museum, there are multiple ways it can come. First, we have the initial contact stage. Typically in this stage, someone will call, email, send a letter, or even stop by to talk to one of the members of the curatorial staff about this specific object. Objects are either delivered to us or we go get them. Sometimes they're even mailed to us. At this point, one of the members of the curatorial staff will fill out an entry receipt with the donor information, object history, and any significance to Saginaw history. Once we have the object, it is in what is called temporary custody. At that point, all the data generated on the entry receipt form is transferred into our database program of artifacts called PastPerfect. Research and correlations can be done at this point with objects history and any other objects we may have in our collection. Recommendations are made by the curatorial staff, and a list is slowly generated of each of the new objects that come in. That list is taken to the Accessions Committee. The Accessions Committee is made up of Board of Director members, Castle Museum staff members, and other community members at large. They take a look at that list, go over each and every object that has been donated, and then gives a final recommendation. The final recommendation goes to the full Castle Museum Board of Directors for final approval. With the Board of Directors' final approval given, a deed of gift is generated and mailed to the individual who donated the object for their final signature. Once the deed is returned to the castle, the object becomes part of the collection. With the object moving out of temporary custody and into the museum collection, the cataloging begins. This can be simple things as in going to PastPerfect and updating the nomenclature to accurately describe what the object is, photographing the object, cleaning the object. All the objects have to be numbered. And finally, once all that is finished, if it needs to be boxed, it's boxed up and it's given a shelf location, and PastPerfect is updated to reflect that location. So when we need to find that object again, we go pull it from the shelf. Let's take one last look at the steps an object has to go through in order to become part of the Castle Museum's permanent collection. Step 1. Initial contact. In this step, the donor will contact a member of the curatorial staff to tell them about the object they wish to donate. This happens by email, phone call, snail mail, or even sometimes by coming into the museum itself. Appointments preferred, please! Step 2. A paper entry receipt is filled out. This way, we can keep a physical copy of all the data with the object, whether it's the donor contact information or the object history. All of that data on the entry receipt is entered into PastPerfect, our computer database of all the objects in the collection. Step 3. Decisions are made. A member of the curatorial staff will examine the object to evaluate its connection to Saginaw County. These initial recommendations are written and sent to the Accession Committee for their meeting. The list of objects brought into temporary custody since the last meeting is scrutinized by the committee and final recommendations are made. This recommendation list is sent to the full Castle Museum Board of Directors for final approval. Once the final approval is given, a deed of gift is generated and mailed to the donor for final signature. Once the deed is returned, it's part of the collection. If an object is not approved to become part of the collection, it is either returned to the donor or transferred to another institution, depending on the donor's wishes. Step 4. Cataloging. In this step, final approval has been given and the deed has been returned with a signature. At this point, we update PastPerfect database with any other information we have, as well as a photo of the object and its shelf location. Objects are numbered, cleaned, and boxed if necessary. Finally, it is put on the shelf in the location noted in PastPerfect so it can be located quickly. If you have an object you would like to donate, please contact the curatorial staff at the Castle Museum. We'll be happy to assist you.